the LG V20 usage here, and today I've been in a video about Huawei. So Huawei has officially announced their HarmonyOS. They announced it on Friday after annual developers conference in China. So HarmonyOS is an alternative to Android. So there'll be another OS out there. So this is pretty cool. So I'm on engadget.com here, so you guys want to check this out. Link or to it will be below. And also, I would like to give a big shout out to Total Tech for the video. He did a video about the Huawei HarmonyOS. So, thank you for the video. I watched this video about the HarmonyOS. So, check out his video. His video right now has over 24,000 views right now. So, go check out Total Tech on YouTube and subscribe to him if you ain't done so, right? So, let's go check out HarmonyOS, alright? So it says Huawei's on Roman England alternative HomeRun is finally official. At today's Huawei's developer conference, the company consumer business group CEO Richard Yu surprised the audience by unveiling HarmonyOS, which he says is faster and safer than Android. That said, the software is primarily aimed at IoT products such as smart displays, wearables, smart speakers, and in-car devices instead of smartphones. So the HarmonyOS is a versatile OS, and it will be able to be used in different devices like smartwatches. It will be able to be used in cars and stuff like that. And that's really cool. You said that when Huawei can no longer access Google's Android ecosystem, the company can deploy HarmonyOS at any time. Until then, Huawei will continue to support Android. So if Huawei can't access Google's Android OS, Huawei has a backup plan with HarmonyOS. So that's pretty cool to have a backup plan. So there you go. Yu's presentation was rather technical, but in a nutshell, HarmonyOS is positioned as a future-proof microkernel-based distributed OS for all scenarios. The platform is open source, and it's actually more of a competitor to Google's upcoming future OS, given that both are microkernel-based and can be used on multiple types of devices at once. In this says in his on-stage presentation, he said that Android isn't as a. Said in his on-stage presentation, he says that Android isn't as efficient due to its redundant codes, outdated scheduling, mechanism, and general fragmentation issues. Shots fired. But the microkernel design HarmonyOS could be safer from the get-go, as there's no root access available. So HarmonyOS will not support root access. If you guys want to run HarmonyOS, you guys want to be able to do that. Even though HarmonyOS will be open source, there will be no root access available for the OS, so do keep it in mind. Since the microkernel is protected by isolation from external kernel services, this system also provides functional verification, a set of mathematical operators used in security critical fields to reliably spot vulnerabilities, whereas traditional methods are likely to miss some. It says, in addition to being a lightweight system, Huawei says that HarmonyOS will offer some performance boost. For one, it will feature a deterministic latency engine that can better allocate system resources using real-time analysis and forecasting. Android, on the other hand, is stuffed with the Linux kernel, less intelligent for and less intelligent for scheduling, mechanism. HarmonyOS also allows for very fast inter-process communication, the link between its microkernel and external kernel services like the system, networks, drivers, apps, and more. Huawei claims that HarmonyOS IPC performance is 5 times faster than US sushi and 3 times that of QNX, alright? So what we'll say about that. According to you, HarmonyOS has been in the works since 2017. So Huawei has been working on this OS for 2 years now. So this is not like this is not like they just started working on it like last week or whatever. They've been working on HarmonyOS for 2 years now, and they are ready to they're ready to bring it to prime time. So that's pretty nice. They've been working on it for 2 years, so that is pretty cool. It says the version Harmony will be unveiled today will initially target smart display products such as the Huawei Vision due later this year. While this release still packs a Linux kernel and Huawei's brother, while this release still packs a Linux kernel and Huawei's earlier OS kernel alongside its microkernel version 2.0, which is expected sometime in 2020. So when Huawei officially releases HarmonyOS to the public, it'll be Harmony 1.0, and then Harmony 2.0 will be released in 2020. It says that it will feature just a HarmonyOS microkernel, this making it a true HarmonyOS. It will also support high-performance graphics then, to the point where the company hopes it will be powering innovative PCs along with wearables and carded head unit speakers and VR glasses. So this is pretty nice. So the initial release of HarmonyOS will be Harmony 1.0. It will support smart displays like the Huawei Vision, which will be available later this year. And then in 2020, HarmonyOS 2.0 will be released, and that will be able to have more powerful support for different devices like VR glasses, wearables, and card displays, and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So this HarmonyOS is going to be versatile, so it will be using a different range of devices like computers, laptops, smartphones, TVs, wearables, all that shit. So this OS is versatile, so that is the one. So it's clear that Huawei has intentionally avoided mentioning smartphones in its slides and press materials today, likely to avoid upsetting its partners over at Google. But Yu wasn't afraid to admit that there may become a time when this company can no longer support the Google ecosystem. Regardless, developers will be able to port their Android apps over to HarmonyOS using Huawei's ARK compiler. Right, so that's pretty cool. So HarmonyOS is not meant for smartphones, but you could probably put it on a smartphone, which, it's so possible that HarmonyOS will be on a Huawei phone eventually. But when HarmonyOS is released, it's not going to be on smartphones as of yet. It's going to be on like smart displays at first, and then next year it'll be on card displays, smart speakers, wearables and stuff like that. So that's pretty nice there. It says here in the little italicized thing, it says HarmonyOS development kit already supports Huawei smartphones, including the affordable Mate X. So there could be a Mate X with HarmonyOS on, so that'd be pretty cool. It says while the exact claim that HarmonyOS is ready to go at any time, it's hard to tell whether all its supposed advantages will win over developers and users, especially those in the US. We're seeing Samsung and to ever throw Android back in the days using Tizen, which is sometimes in OS, which they don't even promote that shit anymore. Tizen is dead. Tizen is dead, and who the fuck has Tizen? I think they use Tizen on the smartwatches for Samsung, but other than that, who the fuck use Tizen? Seriously. Basically, Tizen fell. So, but nowadays it's nothing more than the software parent Edge Galaxy wearables. When this 10 mobile is honestly another prime example, despite its emphasis on productivity and security. So Tizen is like, no one's using Tizen except for if you have a Galaxy Watch, you're using Tizen. But other than that, smartphones are not using it. So there were a few smartphones back then from Samsung that used the Tizen OS, but who the fuck is using Tizen OS? Seriously. So Tizen OS kind of fell, but it's still being kept alive on Samsung's wearables. So there you go. So this isn't then, of course, Huawei still has a trust issue in the West, despite strong financial performance recently. The company is cautious of its future due to the continued pressure from the U.S. government and its allies. Anyway, Huawei is facing a tougher challenge than previous failed mobile OS attempts, and it may have to do more than building its own ecosystem. So, there you guys have it. Huawei has announced HarmonyOS, which is its alternative to Android. So Huawei will still be supporting Android, so that is a win. But if it all fails, Huawei has a backup plan with HarmonyOS, and HarmonyOS will be using different devices, not just smartphones, but using TVs. With their like their Honor Vision TV that's coming out, that will be powered by HarmonyOS. That's really cool. That has also got announced as well. The Honor Vision TV has been announced as well by Huawei. So that's pretty good. So that will come in with HarmonyOS. So this HarmonyOS is versatile. You'll be able to use on TVs, laptops, computers, wearable smart displays, smart speakers, anything that you can put an OS on. HarmonyOS will be able to support that. It will be able to be put in cars on this HarmonyOS will be able to be in cars, so that's pretty cool. So I'm interested to see how HarmonyOS will do, and we'll see how it all fares against Android and other OSs out there. So we'll have to wait and see. There's rumors that Huawei could launch the Mate 30 Pro with HarmonyOS, but that's just rumors and shit. So we'll have to wait and see about that. They could have two Huawei Mate 30s with one with Android, then with one on HarmonyOS. So we'll have to wait and see. So I do think that HarmonyOS will be on a Huawei phone at some point. Might not be on there initially when it's released to the public that OS is, but I'm sure that HarmonyOS will be on the Huawei phone at some point. Honestly, why not? So yeah, what do you guys think about HarmonyOS and stuff like that? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, guys. If it's meant a lot, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.